Imagine carrying a backpack every single day for years. You get so used to the weight, you stop questioning it. Then one day, someone quietly removes just one brick. Suddenly, walking feels easier, breathing feels easier, life feels lighter. Here's the twist. The backpack was never full of bricks. It was full of things you should have let go of years ago. Old habits, other people's opinions, invisible fears, unnecessary guilt. And the scary part, most people don't even realize they're carrying them. They think being exhausted is normal. They think overthinking is just part of adulthood. They think constantly proving themselves is the price of success. It's not. The Stoics believed something completely different. They believed strength wasn't built by adding more to your life. It was revealed by removing what never belonged there in the first place. Today, we're uncovering 10 silent burdens that are stealing your peace, your confidence, and your future. Some will make you uncomfortable. One of these might even make you pause the video. Good, because growth usually begins with discomfort. And trust me, the last one is the reason most people never change. Let's begin. 1. Eliminate the need to attend every battle. Have you ever noticed how some people wake up looking for an argument? They'll debate politics before breakfast, fight strangers in the comment section during lunch, then spend dinner replaying conversations they should have forgotten hours ago. It's exhausting just watching them. Here's something Marcus Aurelius understood centuries ago. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Imagine you're walking down the street. A toddler points at the sky and says it's green. Do you stop everything, pull out scientific charts, and spend 30 minutes proving the sky is blue? Of course not, because the source determines the value of the argument. So why do grown adults spend hours trying to convince people who have already decided they don't want to listen? Some arguments aren't conversations, they're traps. Their purpose isn't truth, it's your attention, and attention is expensive. Every pointless debate costs you something. Your mood, your focus, your patience, sometimes even your entire day. Here's a challenge. The next time someone tries to drag you into unnecessary drama, ask yourself one question. Will this matter a month from now? If the answer is no, keep walking. Peace has never needed a closing argument. 2. Eliminate the habit of borrowing tomorrow's problems. Some people haven't just mastered worrying, they've turned it into a full-time career. Nothing has happened yet, but somehow, they're already preparing for disaster. Your boss says, "Can we talk tomorrow?" Immediately, your brain starts producing a Netflix series. Episode 1. I'm getting fired. Episode 2. I'll lose my house. Episode 3. I'll end up living under a bridge. Then tomorrow comes. Your boss wanted to ask where you bought your coffee mug. That's it. Hours of stress for absolutely nothing. Your imagination is a powerful tool, but if you don't control it, it becomes the world's worst screenwriter. Epictetus reminded us that people aren't disturbed by events. They're disturbed by the stories they tell themselves about those events. Think about how many battles you've fought that never actually happened. How many sleepless nights over conversations that never took place. How many peaceful moments sacrificed to imaginary futures. You're paying emotional interest on debts that don't even exist. Stop. If tomorrow has a problem, tomorrow can introduce itself. Today deserves your full attention. 3. Eliminate the addiction to being busy. Here's a strange question. When did being exhausted become a status symbol? Ask someone how they're doing. I'm busy, almost like it's a badge of honor, as if stress somehow proves importance. But being busy and being productive are two completely different things. Imagine watching someone run on a treadmill for 8 hours. They're sweating, working hard, completely exhausted. But where did they go? Nowhere. That's exactly how many people live. Constant movement, very little progress. The Stoics valued purposeful action, not frantic activity. Being busy often feels good because it gives us permission to avoid what actually matters. It's easier to answer 20 emails than make one difficult phone call. It's easier to organize your desk than start writing the book you've been talking about for 3 years. Sometimes busy is just fear wearing a calendar. So ask yourself, are you moving forward or simply moving? Because those are not the same thing. 4. Eliminate the need to impress people who don't care about you. Let's be honest. Some of you are working overtime for an audience that isn't even watching. Think about it. You buy the expensive watch, the newest phone, the designer clothes, the luxury car you can barely afford. Not because you truly wanted them, but because you wanted someone to notice. Here's the bad news. They won't. You know why? Because they're too busy trying to impress someone else. It's one giant competition where everyone is performing and nobody is actually paying attention. Imagine decorating the outside of your house while the inside is on fire. That's what chasing validation looks like. Beautiful image, broken foundation. Seneca once said that the greatest wealth is to live content with little. He wasn't saying ambition is wrong. He was saying yourself should never depend on applause, because applause is rented. The moment you stop entertaining people, it disappears. Character doesn't. Here's something worth remembering. The people who clap the loudest today can forget your name tomorrow. So stop living like your life is a performance. Build something that impresses the person staring back at you in the mirror. Everyone else is just passing by. But even if you stop chasing applause, there's another habit quietly draining your confidence, and most people call it being careful. 5. Eliminate the fear of looking foolish. Have you noticed something? Children learn faster than adults, not because they're smarter, because they're willing to look ridiculous. A child falls 100 times learning to walk. They don't quit. They don't announce, "I guess walking just isn't for me." They get up again and again and again. Now look at adults, one failed business. "I'm not cut out for entrepreneurship." One awkward conversation, "I'll never date again." One embarrassing presentation, "I'll never speak in public." Somewhere along the way, we became addicted to looking competent, and that addiction is expensive, because every skill begins with looking bad at it. You can't become confident without first being uncomfortable. Imagine refusing to go to the gym because you don't want people seeing you out of shape. The very place designed to help you improve becomes the place you avoid because you're not already improved. That's backwards. The Stoics believed progress mattered more than perfection. Perfection is a destination nobody reaches. Progress is available every single day. So stop asking, "What if I embarrass myself?" Ask, "What if this embarrassment changes my life?" Because sometimes, the moment that bruises your ego builds your future. Here's something funny. Most people are terrified that everyone's judging them. Reality check? Most people are too busy wondering if you're judging them. We're all starring in movies that nobody else bought a ticket to. Now let's talk about something that's quietly stealing years from your life. 1 tiny decision at a time. 6. Eliminate tiny excuses. Nobody wakes up one morning and accidentally ruins their life. It happens differently. Tiny excuses, repeated daily. "I'll start Monday. It's just one more episode. I'll wake up early tomorrow. I'll save money next month. I'll apologize later." Little decisions, massive consequences. Imagine trying to fill a bucket while it has a tiny hole in the bottom. You keep pouring, but it never stays full. That's what excuses do. They don't destroy your future all at once. They leak it away, one drop at a time. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action." In simple English, the obstacle is the assignment. The workout you don't feel like doing, that's the workout that changes you. The difficult conversation you've been avoiding, that's probably the conversation your life needs. The business you've delayed for 3 years, it's still waiting. Not because it's impossible, because excuses have been standing guard at the front door. Here's the truth. Successful people don't have fewer excuses. They just stop negotiating with them. They hear the excuse, smile, and do the work anyway. Because discipline isn't winning once. It's refusing to lose to the same excuse every day. But there's one excuse, one invisible habit, that silently destroys more dreams than almost anything else. And most people mistake it for intelligence. Let's expose it next. 7. Eliminate overthinking before it eliminates your courage. Let's settle something once and for all. Overthinking isn't wisdom. It's fear, wearing glasses. Some of you could turn ordering lunch into a military operation. Should I get the chicken? But what if the beef is better? What if I regret it? What if everyone else orders something different? 5 minutes later, the waiter has gone home. Look, thinking is useful. Overthinking is expensive. There's a difference. Imagine driving a car at night. Your headlights only show about 100 meters ahead, yet somehow, you still make it to your destination. Why? Because you don't need to see the entire road. You only need enough light for the next move. Life works the same way. But some people refuse to move until they can see the next 10 years. Bad news. Life doesn't work like Google Maps. You don't get the entire route. You get the next step, then the next, then the next. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about how many opportunities have slipped through your fingers. Not because you lack talent, Not because you lacked money, but because you kept waiting for certainty. You analyzed, researched, compared, asked for advice, watched another YouTube video, downloaded another PDF, bought another course. And while you were preparing, someone with half your knowledge, but twice your courage, started. They weren't smarter. They simply moved before their fear finished talking. Here's something your future self wishes you knew. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. You'll never think your way into confidence. You act your way there. So the next time your mind starts creating 20 different scenarios, interrupt it. Ask yourself, what's the smallest action I can take in the next 5 minutes? Not tomorrow, not next week, 5 minutes. Because momentum is built in minutes, not miracles. Here's something ironic. The same people who spend 6 months overthinking one decision can spend 6 hours binge-watching a series without thinking twice. Interesting how fear only shows up when your future is involved. But even if you finally stop overthinking, there's another invisible thief quietly stealing your life. And this one has convinced millions of people that they're being nice. 8. Eliminate the addiction to people-pleasing. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you said yes? When every part of you wanted to say no, you didn't want to attend the event, but you went. You didn't want to lend the money, but you did. You didn't have the time, but somehow you made time. Why? Because disappointing someone else felt more painful than disappointing yourself. Read that again. Some people would rather betray themselves than risk being called selfish. That's not kindness. That's fear. Fear wearing a smile. Here's what nobody tells you. Every unnecessary yes is secretly stealing something from your future. The hour you gave away could have been spent learning, resting, building, healing. Instead, you donated it to someone who probably won't even remember next week. Seneca understood something that still applies today. If you belong to everyone, you eventually belong to no one, including yourself. Here's a reality check. The people who become angry when you set healthy boundaries are often the people who benefited from you having none. Think about that. The moment you stop answering every call, replying to every message, solving every crisis, some people won't accuse you of changing. They'll accuse you of becoming difficult. Smile. Take it as a compliment, because it usually means you're finally protecting your peace. You don't have to explain your boundaries. You don't have to announce them. Just live them quietly. Consistency speaks louder than long speeches ever will. Now we're down to the final 2. And these aren't habits, they're identities. The next one has quietly trapped more people than failure ever could, and most never realize it until decades have passed. 9. Eliminate the habit of living in yesterday. Have you ever noticed how some people are physically here, but mentally, they're 5 years behind? They're still replaying the breakup, still replaying the betrayal, still replaying the business that failed, still replaying the one embarrassing mistake that nobody else even remembers. It's like watching the same movie every night, then wondering why the ending never changes. Here's the truth. Your past should be a teacher, not your landlord. It shouldn't be charging you rent every single day. Marcus Aurelius lost children. He buried friends. He carried the weight of an empire during war and plague. If anyone had a reason to spend his life asking, "Why me?" it was him. Instead, he asked a different question. What does this moment require of me? Think about how powerful that is. Not, why did this happen? Not, whose fault was it? Not, what if things had been different? Just, what do I do now? Because the past has one job: to leave clues, not chains. Some of you keep introducing yourselves to life using an old version of your story. I'm the one who got cheated. I'm the one who failed. I'm the one who was abandoned. I'm the one who lost everything. No, those are things that happened to you. They're not your name. Imagine driving while staring only in the rearview mirror. How far do you think you'd get? Exactly. The windshield is bigger than the mirror for a reason. Life is asking you to look forward, not because your past doesn't matter, but because your future matters more. So today, stop asking, what if I had done things differently? Start asking, what can I build with what's left? Because broken bricks can still build beautiful houses. Only people who keep looking backward never discover that pattern. Interrupt. Here's something most people don't realize. Your past doesn't knock on your door every morning. Your memory does. And memories can be challenged. Now we've reached the final elimination. And honestly, this is the one that changes everything. Because it isn't stealing your time, or your peace, or your confidence. It's stealing the person you were capable of becoming. 10. Eliminate the fear of becoming someone new. Here's the biggest lie you've ever believed. If I change, people won't like me anymore. Maybe. But here's the better question. What if saying costs you the life you were supposed to live? Read that again. Some people aren't afraid of failure. They're afraid of transformation. Because transformation has consequences. You'll lose some friendships. Some people will call you different. Others will say you've changed. Good. That's the point. Imagine a snake refusing to shed its old skin because it's emotionally attached to it. Ridiculous, right? Yet people do exactly that. They hold on to outdated habits, outdated identities, outdated beliefs, simply because they're familiar. Comfort is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. The Stoics believed that every day gave you another opportunity to become a better version of yourself. Not a perfect version, a better one. That means letting go. Letting go of the person who needed everyone's approval. Letting go of the person who kept making excuses. Letting go of the person who waited for motivation before taking action. Because here's the truth. The version of you that's capable of extraordinary things already exists. They're just buried beneath years of fear, doubt, comfort, and hesitation. You don't need permission to become them. You only need courage. So don't announce your transformation. Don't make a dramatic speech. Don't post a countdown. Just let people notice. One day they'll say, "You've changed." Smile and simply reply, "I had to." Nothing more. 11. Eliminate the person you pretend to be. We've finally reached the hardest elimination. Not because it's painful, but because it's invisible. Let me ask you something. How many different versions of yourself do you have? One at work, one with your friends, one around your family, one on social media, one when you're alone. At some point, you stopped living and started performing. You laugh at jokes that aren't funny, agree with opinions you don't believe, hide dreams because they sound too ambitious, pretend you're okay when you're barely holding yourself together. Not because you're fake, because somewhere along the way, you became afraid that the real you wouldn't be accepted. Here's the tragedy. You spend years trying to become someone everyone likes, only to wake up one day and realize you don't even recognize yourself anymore. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never value anything as profitable if it compels you to betray yourself." Read that again, because that single idea has the power to change your life. Every time you pretend, you make a tiny withdrawal from your own identity. At first, you barely notice. Then one day, you can't remember what you actually want, because you've spent years living according to everyone else's expectations. Imagine wearing shoes that are 2 sizes too small. For 1 hour, they're uncomfortable. For 10 years, they reshape your feet. That's exactly what pretending does to your personality. It slowly reshapes you until discomfort feels normal. Here's the truth. The world doesn't need another copy. It already has billions. It only gets one version of you. So stop shrinking your opinions to make insecure people comfortable. Stop apologizing for your ambition. Stop acting smaller than your potential because you're afraid someone will call you arrogant. The people who are meant for your life will recognize you. The people who only liked your mask will leave. Let them, because losing people after becoming yourself isn't a loss. It's proof. Proof that the mask was attracting the wrong audience. Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Notice he didn't say, "Become what everyone expects." He said, "Decide who you are. Then live accordingly, quietly, without announcements, without permission, without applause. Because the greatest freedom you'll ever experience is the day your private life, your public life, and your inner life become the same person." Let's take one final look at what you've decided to leave behind. Not because someone forced you, because you're finally choosing yourself. You eliminated the need to fight every battle, tomorrow's imaginary problems, the addiction to looking busy, the pressure to impress people who aren't paying attention, the fear of looking foolish, tiny excuses that quietly steal years, overthinking disguised as intelligence, people-pleasing disguised as kindness, living inside yesterday, the fear of becoming someone new, and finally, the person you pretend to be. Here's what most people get wrong about self-improvement. They think it's about adding more books, more habits, more routines, more hacks. But the greatest sculptors never created masterpieces by adding stone. They revealed them by removing everything that didn't belong. Your life works the same way. Every habit you eliminate creates room for discipline. Every toxic relationship you release creates room for peace. Every excuse you destroy creates room for courage. Every unnecessary burden you drop makes the next step lighter. 1 year from today, people may look at you and say, "You're not the same person." Don't take that as criticism. Take it as proof. proof that you stopped carrying what was never yours. Because the strongest people in the world don't become stronger by lifting more forever. They become stronger by knowing exactly what to put down. So here's your challenge. Don't try to eliminate all 10 today. Choose one, just one. Cut it loose, live with that decision for the next 7 days. Then come back and tell this community what changed. You might be surprised how one small elimination creates a completely different life. If this message spoke to you, let me know in the comments. I'm putting it down. Sometimes a single sentence is the first step toward becoming someone your past self wouldn't even recognize. And remember, protect your peace, guard your mind, move quietly, because the loudest success is the one that never needed an announcement.